I worked 60 hours a week while my wife took art classes and found her passion. I was proud, until I saw a painting of me with devil horns at her gallery opening. People were laughing, whispering, "That's her husband. He doesn't even know." I smiled, clapped, and waited. A week later, I made a surprise visit to her studio and found her mentor, shirtless, painting her back. I quietly posted the footage online, tagged her grant sponsor, and left. Her funding got pulled, and he ghosted her the same day. She called me screaming. I just said, "Now you get to suffer in silence." My name's Mark. I'm 38. I live about 20 minutes outside Dayton, Ohio. I work as an industrial electrician. Good money, steady work. Not glamorous, but I never needed glamour. 8 years ago, I married Sherry. She was funny. She was sweet. She had dreams bigger than our little town. She used to doodle in notebooks all the time. Painting, she said, was what made her feel alive. At the time, she was working as a receptionist at a dentist's office. I loved her. I wanted her to be happy. So when I landed a promotion, I told her she could quit and finally focus on her art. She cried. Said she didn't deserve me. Said I was her rock. I meant every word when I told her I'd take care of things. If I worked a little harder, what was the big deal? Life got busy fast. I was pulling 60-hour weeks minimum. Some weeks closer to 70. My hands were always cracked and bleeding from cables and sharp edges. Some nights I'd come home and crash on the couch still in my work boots. Meanwhile, Sherry started signing up for art classes. Then retreats. Then networking events. Then a studio rental. She needed better supplies. She needed better canvases. She needed this. She needed that. The bills added up fast. Sometimes I'd open our bank app at lunch and just sit there shaking my head. But I kept telling myself it was worth it. This was her dream. And hell, wasn't that what love was? By year 5, things changed. She wasn't around much. She'd leave in the morning, come back late. I figured she was working hard. Painting takes time, right? Some nights she smelled different. Like wine and strong cologne that wasn't mine. I didn't question her. I told myself I was being paranoid. I figured if I just kept grinding, it would all pay off. She told me she had landed a gallery show. A small one, but still, a huge step. I took a night off work just to be there. I even ironed a dress shirt I hadn't worn in years. Bought her sunflowers. She always said they made her feel bright inside. The gallery was small but packed. Her paintings lined the walls. Loud, messy colors. Big shapes. I didn't understand most of it, but I smiled like an idiot. People walked around sipping wine, mumbling pretentious crap like raw emotionality and postmodern expression. I found her near the back wall. She was glowing. Laughing too hard at some skinny guy's jokes. I didn't care. I was proud. Then I saw it. Across the room, there was a large painting. Bigger than the rest. It was a man, tired, dirty, slouched. Covered in dark smears. Devil horns twisting up from his head. It was me. Down to the shape of the jaw, the bent posture from years of manual labor. Me. I stood there staring. A group of women giggled nearby. One leaned in to whisper, not even trying to hide it, "That's her husband. He doesn't even know." More laughter. I smiled. I nodded at people. I even posed for pictures next to the damn thing. Inside, I died a little. For the next week, I acted normal. I kissed her goodbye in the mornings. I texted her, "Love you," on my breaks. I paid the bills. I mowed the lawn. All while something ugly grew inside me. Something black and hot. I started paying attention. Her phone buzzed late at night. She'd jumped to grab it. She said it was her mentor, a local artist named Daniel, helping her get better. She said he was like a father figure. Funny, since he looked maybe 10 years older than her. I didn't say a word. I just watched. One Friday, I left work early. I didn't call ahead. I figured I'd surprise her, bring her lunch. Her car was outside the studio. The door was locked, but I had a key. I walked in slow. The place smelled like paint and stale coffee. Upstairs, I heard laughing. Whispers. The sound of something soft hitting a canvas. I crept up. The studio door was half open. There she was. Topless, except for a thin sheet she held against her chest. Sitting on a stool. Laughing. Daniel stood behind her, shirtless. He was painting something intricate down her spine, murmuring into her ear. I stood there. Watched. Pulled out my phone. Recorded about 30 seconds. Their hands. Their bodies. Her smiling up at him like he hung the moon. I didn't say a word. I left. That night, I posted the footage. No screaming. No threats. No drama. Just posted it to Facebook and Instagram, tagged her arts group, her grant sponsor, and the gallery. Caption: Behind the scenes at Sherry's studio. Then I turned my phone off. It exploded. By morning, her grant was pulled. The gallery cancelled all future shows. Even her online art store started getting nasty comments. Daniel? Gone. Unfriended. Blocked. Left her on read like she was nothing. She called me 20 times that day. Left voicemails sobbing, shrieking, begging. By evening, she showed up at my house. I opened the door and stared at her. Mascara running. Hair a mess. Clothes wrinkled like she hadn't slept. You ruined my life, she screamed. How could you? I smiled. Now you get to suffer in silence, I said. Then I closed the door. After that night, things got worse. For her. She kept showing up. At my work. At my house. Banging on the door. Crying in the driveway. Neighbors started asking questions. One night, my boss pulled me aside. You need to get your wife under control, he said, real serious. I don't care what happened between you two. Keep your drama out of my parking lot. That hit hard. I realized if I didn't draw a line fast, her wreckage would drag me down too. So I did what I should have done earlier. I filed for divorce. She didn't take it well. She tried playing the victim first. Posting long rants online about how I never supported her dreams and was jealous of her success. But it backfired. People remembered the video. Screenshots. Shares. No one bought her story. Her friends started dropping her. Even the ones who cheered her on at the gallery opening. She went from being the rising star of our little art scene to a running joke. Memes. Jokes. Nicknames like Studio Sinner and Body Paint Betrayer. I heard she even tried applying for new grants and got blacklisted quietly. Word travels fast in small creative circles. She got desperate. Started sending me these long, rambling texts. I made a mistake, Mark. It wasn't real with him. You pushed me away with work. We can still fix this. Please. One night, she left a box on my porch. Inside were old photos, letters I wrote her back when we were young, a keychain I gave her the night I proposed. On top was a note, "I remember who we were." I didn't even open it all. I threw the box straight in the trash. That part of me was dead. Then the next twist hit. I found out she had lied about the grant too. She hadn't won it fairly. She slept with one of the board members. That's how she got it. I found this out through a friend of a friend, a guy who worked in non-profit circles. Apparently, after the video leaked, people started whispering. Someone dug into her emails and connections. It all came spilling out. The board member resigned quietly. And her reputation? Whatever scraps were left burned to ash. But Sherry wasn't done dragging it lower. She tried to sue me. Claimed defamation and emotional distress. My lawyer laughed. We walked into court with the video, her paintings, her texts. Judge took one look and dismissed her case. Worse for her, the court made her pay my legal fees. She broke down crying right there at the defense table. Like a kid caught stealing candy. I didn't even feel bad. Meanwhile, her mentor, Daniel. Turns out he had a habit of mentoring a lot of young women. One of them was barely out of high school. He got hit with a lawsuit himself not long after ghosting Sherry. He vanished off social media. No one's seen him around here since. Good riddance. As for Sherry, she moved back in with her parents. I heard from a mutual friend she started trying to sell hand-painted bookmarks online. She makes about $20 a week, on a good week. From Queen of the Gallery to Etsy pity sales. All while I'm working, saving, living my life. No drama. No fights. Just peace. Something she never gave me when I needed it most. About 2 months after the divorce papers were finalized, I thought I was finally done with her. But I was wrong. One morning, I stopped by my bank to deposit a check. The teller looked confused, pulled me into her manager's office. Apparently, someone had tried to open a credit card in my name. Same last name. Same old address. They flagged it because the information didn't fully match. I knew immediately who it was. I called her. She didn't even try to deny it. She said, "I needed it. You left me with nothing." I nearly lost it right there. I reminded her she left me in every way first. Then I reminded her it was illegal. Her voice changed real quick. From smug to scared. "Please don't press charges," she whispered. "It was just a mistake." I said, "You made your bed. Lie in it." I filed a report. Didn't care anymore if she spiraled. She wasn't my problem. Then I found out something that genuinely shocked me. Turns out she'd been secretly filming parts of our life during our marriage. Conversations. Fights. Me venting about work. She'd chopped some of it into short clips and tried to use them in some personal performance piece online after the divorce. Made me look like some angry, distant husband. But here's the part she didn't expect: I had the original footage. Some of it was filmed on cameras I bought and set up in our home. She didn't realize the cloud kept copies. And I also had everything else. Texts. Voicemails. Her laughing about cheating with Daniel. Her calling me a walking paycheck to one of her friends. I compiled it all into one file. Then I shared it anonymously on the same art blog where she posted that performance piece. I titled it, "The Whole Picture." People tore her apart. Even the few who had started feeling sorry for her turned. Comments flooded in. This is the real her. She used her husband like a piggy bank. No wonder the gallery dropped her. She deleted everything. Her blog, her store, even her personal Instagram. A few weeks later, I got a call from her dad. This man had never liked me. Thought I wasn't good enough for his artist daughter. Now, his voice was shaking. She's not doing well, he said. She talks to herself. She doesn't eat. She's not the same. I didn't say anything. He waited, like he thought I'd rush over, or offer to help. I just said, she made her choices, and hung up. Funny thing is, after everything, I started painting. Just small stuff at first. Landscapes. Tools. Real simple, gritty stuff. I didn't post it. I didn't try to sell it. I just did it after work, in silence, in my garage. And it helped. Not because it made me feel inspired or anything. But because it reminded me, I never needed her to chase beauty or peace. I just needed the noise to stop. 6 months after the fallout, I thought it was finally over. I thought I could finally live in peace. But it turns out revenge doesn't end clean. One night I got a letter in the mail. No return address. No stamp even. Just stuffed into my mailbox. Inside was a photo of me, taken through the window of my garage. Painting. Sitting there in my old work shirt, covered in dirt and paint splatter. On the back, scribbled in black marker, "You're no artist. You're nothing." I knew it was her. She was watching me. That night, I sat in my truck with a baseball bat across my lap and waited. Hours passed. Nothing. Nobody came. But that sick, twisted feeling settled in my chest again. I decided right then, I was done playing defense. I found a cheap private investigator online. Paid him cash. Gave him her parents' address, her work history, everything I knew. Told him to dig. It didn't take long. He found out Sherry had been trying to apply for art grants under fake names. Submitting forged letters of recommendation. Even claimed she was a domestic violence survivor to win sympathy points. There were email trails. Paperwork. It was disgusting. But it gave me something I needed, leverage. I forwarded everything anonymously to the art councils, the nonprofits, the schools she'd applied to. No threats. No demands. Just pure truth. Within a month, she was blacklisted statewide. Word got around fast. Nobody wanted her near their programs, their grants, their shows. Nobody wanted her mess. She was finished. For real this time. But revenge has a price. I realized I wasn't the same either. Working 60-hour weeks, spending nights watching for threats, digging into someone's broken life, it leaves a stain. I was angrier now. Quicker to snap at people. I pushed away friends. Missed birthdays. Ignored my mom's calls. All because I couldn't let go. And when I finally stood in my garage months later, staring at another half-finished painting, I realized I hated everything about it. I smashed every canvas I made. Splintered the easel against the wall. Tore the garage apart until my hands bled. Because deep down, I knew the truth, Sherry didn't just lose herself chasing cheap love and fake art. I lost pieces of myself trying to destroy her back. The last time I saw her was by accident. I was at the grocery store. Buying beer, bread, simple stuff. She walked in through the automatic doors, looking 10 years older. Thin. Pale. Eyes dead. She saw me. Flinched like I'd hit her. I just stared at her. No smile. No nod. Nothing. She turned and walked right back out the door. Like a ghost who knew she didn't belong among the living anymore. Now? I work. I sleep. I keep my circle small. I don't paint. I don't date. I just live quiet. Maybe that's not a happy ending. But it's an honest one. And honestly? After everything? I'll take it.